Hey there, internet fans! It's Ryan Perry with with Simple Media, with Simple Biz Support. Today is Wednesday, therefore it is Social Media Wednesday. And on the other side, I have Sarah Giametti with ICT Marketing. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you. Today, we got a lot to talk about, so I want to jump right into it. And we want to talk about Facebook custom audience. And this is something I didn't even know existed until we talked about it a week or 2 weeks ago. I forget exactly when. Ended up doing a little bit of research, and obviously, you know a lot more about me or know a lot more about it than I do. But one of the things that I really liked about it is the fact that you can actually target specific people if you already have a database. So I guess the easy way of diving into it, if let's start out on the easy side for people that don't know anything about Facebook custom audience. One of the easiest ways is you can just go in and you can upload either a phone number or an email list, and if it matches a Facebook's user's email address or phone number, that person is a match, and now you can target those people with your ads.
That is correct. So the easiest way to start dabbling in custom audience is most people have an email list. And if a business doesn't, they should. So you can take this email list that you've spent the last few years cultivating and growing and import it into Facebook. Most people use the Power Editor, just makes it kind of easier. But you import it into Facebook, and Facebook's system will, what they call hash, compare it to your database to their database. And any email addresses that match, so if someone gave you their Gmail address and that's the same email they used to create their Facebook account, then Facebook would find the match and they would be added to your custom audience. And Facebook's average is about 40 to 60%, show that there is a match between the email address that the business has and the email address that Facebook has. And so you create this custom audience where it's an opportunity for businesses to reach their existing client base or prospective client base in a different platform, in a different media where they may not be used to seeing you. And it's a great way to reach out and connect with them in a different manner. It adds to branding, it adds to your reach. It's really a great option for businesses who are having a hard time reaching their customers.
All right. And the other thing I was thinking of while you were talking is not only the fact that you can connect with current customers, but it would also could be a way of reconnecting with old clients. So if you have a database of past clients, what an easy way to kind of just get your name out there, especially if you planned on doing a campaign or maybe you planned on sending a letter or some sort of other email marketing to reconnect with old clients. In fact, we have a mutual client that we're talking about. It's a law firm. They have, I think, they've got over 40,000 names that they've collected over the years. Granted, they don't have email addresses with a lot of them, but they do have phone numbers. And this law firm's been very successful in the North Bay. However, they've never done any ongoing marketing. They've just simply taken the business that's naturally acquired. They've naturally acquired, and that's it. But they've never done any ongoing marketing. So this might be a great way to connect with and reintroduce people to the brand.
Absolutely, it's a really key tool for people. For this particular client is a great example that they might have a client from 5 years ago that they might have forgotten they used them 5 years ago, or they're just not top of mind. And so this is a great way for them to get back top of mind, just in case the need arises again. They're in front of their customers and reminding them, hey, we really helped you out 5, 10 years ago. And so don't forget about us. Let us educate on other things that maybe the customer doesn't know or didn't realize that the law firm helps them with. And so for this one, maybe they helped them with a car accident and they didn't realize they could probably help them with workers' comp. So it's a great way to get in front of your customers and reminding them what you do, some of the other things that you do, and kind of reinvigorate that relationship.
Yeah, definitely. And then, the other thing I was thinking of is a lot of businesses have multiple product lines, if you will. So, initially when I heard about this type of marketing, and we're going to get into it a little bit later, how you can actually mark your website so you get your ads to show up on Facebook when people have visited your website, which is really good for product based, but from a service side, a lot of companies offer multiple lines of service. At Simple Biz Support, we're primarily known as SEO, but we do graphic design, or not graphic design, but website design and development. We also do social media through ICT marketing. But a lot of people don't know that, and so if you have a core audience or a database, and you know that, geez, only these people are doing SEO with me, I could run an ad and I could start promoting website design as an example to let them know that, hey, we're not just SEO, we do other things.
Absolutely, it's a great way. Yes, product based is the most obvious for the other the website one that we'll talk about, but a lot of us offer more than one service, and our customers came to us for one service, and we may not be the best at, and I know I'm not the best at letting our clients know about all the other services that we have that we can help them with. And so this is a great way to get that in front of them without actually having to us to kind of upsell them. It's a great way to put it in front of them that, I do social media, we also do, web design, SEO, we're full inbound, and so it's an easy way for us to kind of put it in front of them that they may not have thought about. And it also could turn into referrals that maybe client ABC doesn't need the design services, but they didn't realize you did it. Their friend just asked them for a referral to a web designer, and they see the ad from you. It piques client ABC to go, oh, wait a second, my friend just asked for that. Let me send them over to Ryan. So it's a great way to kind of build that recognition within your own client base, with your friends and family, that kind of stuff, to kind of just let them know and teach them what you do, and most likely generate business out of it.
All right. And what's really neat about this is the fact that if you're uploading a database, and let's say you upload 1,000, Facebook is saying, I think you said it was 40 to 50%, or maybe it was a little bit lower, but let's say 40% of the people match. And I can see in business where that might be an issue simply because most of the email contacts that I have are business related, and I would imagine that most people, when they sign up for Facebook, are using a personal email versus a business email, and that's probably why the number's as low as it is. But if I decide to run this ad and I get a 40% match, I've got 400 people that I'm marketing to. I have really narrowed down my audience. And then if we go back to just grabbing the people that only do SEO with me, that might be 50% of that audience. So I'm going to say, well, I'm going to take 50% and I'm going to run a different ad, and I'm just going to talk about web design as an example. And those are people that are already familiar with me. They already know who Simple Biz Support is, and they can see an ad and go, oh, I already know this company. Geez, I didn't know they did web design. So we have a very focused audience. It keeps costs down. It really focuses on who your audience is, so you should have a higher conversion. To me, this sounds like a win-win-win-win-win situation for everybody involved.
It is. It absolutely is, because, like you said, you already have the trust established with them. They already do business with you. They already know you, like you, trust you, work with you. So it's a higher conversion for it. And so yes, you're targeting people that already use you, and so you're eliminating a lot of that effort of trying to prove yourself to them that you are good at what you do. They already know that and like you. And yeah, you keep your costs down because you're only targeting these specific people. You're not people outside that list. Well, depending on how you set it up, because you can set it up to either only target them or exclude them. So on the flip side, so if you only include them, it's a great way to make sure that other people who may not be the right audience for you are not seeing the ad, so they're not bothered by it. You're not having negative brand recognition, and you're not spending money on an audience that doesn't fit. On the flip side, you can exclude that list. So if you're running a promotion for new clients only, So for instance, let's say your websites are $3,000, and to drum up some new business, you offer a new client only $2,000 website. And you don't want your clients to see that. You can do the exact same thing, but on the opposite, where you exclude your client list, and then you create your custom audience of who you want to target for that, and your clients won't see that promotion. Is the theory behind it. Obviously, it's only a 40 to 60% match rate for email addresses, so some might see it, but it's a great way to segment the audiences where you can go after new clients who have no relationship with you with a really cool special that you may not want to offer, or let your clients know, like, hey, I just paid $3,000 for it, now you're offering it for $2,000, and then it cuts into your profit margin. So you can get really creative with it on both sides and really be creative and have a lot of success with it, and do multiple avenues to see what works best.
Okay. Now we also kind of alluded to that there's a little bit more sophisticated way of doing things, but I'm looking at the time. We got about 4 minutes left, so I'm thinking instead of trying to plow through something that really deserves its own time frame, why don't we hold off on that until next week, and just kind of focus in on if people are interested in doing the custom audience, looking into it. It's truly as simple as just creating a CSV file. You have to have your database in a database. You can't just upload a Word file. It needs to be in a CSV file. And then, do you know what the price point is for the ads? Is it similar to other branding campaigns on Facebook?
It works exactly the same way. So it all depends on who you're targeting is what you'll pay. The only difference is you're targeting a specific list of people versus just putting in the demographics and laser targeting in there. That's the only difference in these ads, but the price point runs the same. That if your audience is not, if they turn out to be people that are not heavily targeted, then your price is down. If they're moms, because that's the biggest one, like everybody goes after moms, you're going to pay a little bit more. So that it works just the same. You're just changing who you're targeting versus with your own list versus using Facebook's own demographics, where you don't really know who you're going to be targeting. You're just doing it based on demographics, location, activity, things like that.
Right, which is still very powerful, but I think, initially the way I'm listening to it, and especially for me because I deal typically with service-based businesses versus product-based businesses, is the fact that from a service side of branding, a way of creating brand awareness to get your name out, to engage with people, especially for a small business, if you only have a few hundred people in your database to begin with, then you look at the cost factor, a couple hundred people plus the cost factor, which is extremely inexpensive on Facebook. It could be a very easy way, cost-effective way to start marketing on Facebook because, again, you already have brand awareness, and it's just a way of boosting that brand and showcasing other services that you provide. The next one that we're going to talk about next week, we're going to talk about the Pixel, which is basically a tracker that goes on the website, and there may be uses for service, but it's really being used in product-based. So if you had a shoe store as an example, and let's say the new line of XYZ shoes is coming out, you can actually put a pixel on the website. And Sarah, we'll get into this a little bit more, but I just want to entice people to come back next week. Basically, it's a tracking pixel, and so that when people log or are already in Facebook, that shoe will pop up. And it's not just a shoe, but it's the specific shoe that they looked at to kind of, go, hey, how serious were you? A lot of times people walk away from something and going, darn it, I should have bought that. And this is an easy way to entice them. So we'll talk more about that next week because we're out of time. Do you have anything else to add on the service side or what we talked about today?
I don't think so. I think it's a great way for businesses to explore advertising on Facebook if they haven't done it before, and to create kind of an upsell atmosphere with an existing client base. So It's something that people should definitely look at playing with.
Yeah, especially considering how targeted the audience is. I mean, this is your database. You should have a really good idea of who these people are. And since they already know you, they probably want to buy more product from you anyhow. Or if you've had a horrible experience, it might be a way of, like you said, you can do the flip side and put them in as a negative in the sense that do not advertise to these people. But hopefully that's not the case with the business owners out there. I'm sure everybody loves their services.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, you're not excluding people because they don't like you. Then you got some other problems that we might need to work out first.
Yes, yes, yes. That's a whole. That's more than a 15-minute conversation. No, Sarah, as always, I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a wonderful week.
Thanks, Brian. I hope you do as well.
All right, thank you. And next week we're going to talk more about the pixel embedding and tracking and all that kind of fun stuff with custom audience. All right, take care, everybody.